All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
How are we doing this fine Sunday evening?
I am Sir Tommy P, Defender of the Faith,
And I'm Empress Emily M.
and we are the Nephilim Murder Crew. And in true Nephilim Murder Crew fashion, I botched the beginning there.
That's okay.
It's been a long weekend, a long week. We went away camping for the weekend,
We did.
came back early so we could still hit church today.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it's been busy.
It has been. It's been eventful.
Yes, and as you might be able to see and tell, we have new microphones tonight. Let us know if you can hear us and if there's issues, because this board here is the next thing to get upgraded because preamps don't have enough gain to push these microphones.
What he said.
We want two dynamic microphones, so a little different principle, and this is not the right piece of equipment to drive them.
It was a good starter piece.
Yeah.
It has done a good job thus far.
We've done 15 full episodes of our normal show. We've done, this is what, like number 6 of the Catholic chats. We've
Yep.
done various other. I mean,
I went 13 episodes with it.
yeah. I'm just saying this show alone's done almost 30 videos now with this
Yep.
this and the old mics. It served its purpose. I got my money's worth.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, now it's time to go bigger and better. So
Moving on up
yeah.
to
Oh,
the top.
welcome, Scotty.
Oh, good evening, Scott.
And thank you. If it sounds good, we're happy about that. It's in our ears. We can barely hear it.
It is very low. It does barely come through.
So there may be some times tonight where I'm looking at Emily like, "What did you just say?" Because I can't hear her as well as I used to.
Yeah. But we played around. We did a live broadcast with like a private link so that way we could watch it on the TV to see how everything came through, because when I sit back like this in my headphones, it sounds like I'm in a well. It like I get almost nothing, but when we were watching it on the TV, it came through. So
Yeah, like
just fingers crossed.
I can't even really hear myself in my headphones right now, so I don't know how it sounds to you, but I can't hear me, so I'm assuming I can't be heard. But
We'll
yeah,
see what happens.
it's fun. It'll be a good test run here.
Yeah, it will be.
All right, so what are we doing today other than screwing up the beginning?
Well, so this Sunday we have because it's a Catholic chats conversation. It's a very niche uh, community that we will be getting information from. So there has been a document released, a memo of sorts for that suggests that there may have been some government meddling in Vatican affairs back in 1958.
So right before Vatican II, when the whole Catholic faith changed completely.
Yeah, right after Pius the 12th passed away.
Right. Okay, so I guess the question at hand then is, did the U.S. State Department meddle in Vatican and Catholic Church affairs? And the answer is maybe. So
Maybe.
Thanks for coming out, guys. It's been a great show.
And that's all we have
see you
for
next
ya.
week. No.
Yeah.
No, but that's really that's the best answer we have is maybe.
And I am no professional, right? I'm just an idiot with internet access.
Well, and it's funny you say that because I was just about to say, luckily on the show, we have our own in-house journalist that can look into this stuff for us. So Emily, take it away.
Let me take it away.
Our in-house journalist
Our
here.
in-house journalist, just the millennial who's chronically online. Much like the rest of the journalisms out there. So when I come across this stuff, and it doesn't even have to be specifically Catholic, it's any information that I'm like, oh my gosh, no way. I go look it up. I have to find like at least 2 or 3 other places verifying the same thing or putting out the same thing for me to be like, let me pull on this string of this sweater and see what I can unravel. So phase 1, I do a preliminary search, and I just can't find anybody else putting out this document. So I feel weird about it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's
And then it's like I can't find it anywhere else. And then when I like read it and reread it, and then I had to like read it a third time because it's 2024. You could feed in like 4 sentences into an AI, and Grok, could give you this letter. right? Like, write me a letter from the State Department saying that the Vatican needs to be influenced, but don't make it look outright uh, directive. How do I persuasively convince an entire group of people to do what I want them to do? Right? Like, and we have AI things that could give this to you. So that's something that a lot of us need to be taking into consideration when looking at shit on the internet. Number one. Um, but can we show them what the what?
No,
Oh, okay.
I can't.
Oh.
Next question, please.
Okay. So
Now, hold on. Here we go. See if I can remember how to operate the system since I forgot already before we started.
come
yeah.
on.
Okay, there we go. And then let me enlarge that. And then let's scroll into there. Okay.
All
Now,
right.
Emily, take it away.
So this is supposedly allegedly a telegram, right? Which would be a memo. And it says limited distribution. During conversation with embassy officer, Vatican source expressed personal view. Next pope will be elected outside conclave by agreement between cardinals. Source said Pius.
Well, just pause
Hold
there.
on now.
Just pause there for a second because people may not know this because people may not be Catholic. That's why that is underlined there. Like the next pope will be elected outside of conclave.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not how electing a pope
that's
works.
not how that works.
That's not how that works.
Yeah. And
let's just like baseline right here. Like that's not how that works.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't want to derail you.
Well, and not only just like that's not how that works. That is, that means that there's an issue already,
right,
in the Vatican. That means that there's already team. I'm here to do the job that God assigned me to do, and I am of this world, and I'm on a mission.
So you're saying there's people that were sent to infiltrate the Vatican, and those people have done so and are in place now. And now we've got State Department going, okay, now we got you in place. Time for.
I'm gonna say that in 1958 there was sides.
Yeah,
there was a foothold for the devil to get in, one might say.
Right.
And the devil in this case is the State Department.
Okay.
Because if there's already issues, right? If you're already infighting, then it's easy enough to show up and be like, you know that Top Lobster guy, ain't he a bastard? Ain't he a son of a bitch? Right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that statement.
Ain't that Raven guy just a faggot with his hair coloring and his nose ring?
Yeah.
Right? Like that. It's
how does
easy enough.
everybody overlook the nose ring and go right to the hair coloring? Seriously.
Because they can't see it on the camera.
All right.
The angle. I don't know that David does it on purpose, but he's mindful.
Okay. Yeah, let's we get back to our program here, but yes, as a side note, like, come on, how are you gonna talk about the hair and like overlook the nose ring? Like that's the gay part, people.
But that's what I'm saying is in 1958 there was already issues. There were people who are on they're on their that's their vocation, and then there's other people who have an agenda that they're pushing. So that's just, to me, reading this in 2024, seeing how it played out, understanding how groups get infiltrated, right? It makes sense. Source said Pius XII elected in this manner and recalled that cardinals were entering 1939 conclave
Cardinal.
Oh, okay. Cardinal Pizzardo had called him aside and asked him to prepare a biographical sketch of Pacelli. He consulted with Monsignor Montini, and both decided, for obvious reasons, not to go ahead with Pizzardo's request. Speculating on Pius XII's successor, source said college may very well choose an old cardinal whose short pontificate may be devoted entirely to the reorganization of the Roman Curia left by deceased pope in deplorable state. Source indicated election of Siri Raffini Ottavani would be would be a misfortune for the church, since the three cardinals have an unrealistic approach to great problems facing the world today. Source said election of any one of the three could depend on influence of American cardinals and volunteered suggestions. U.S. authorities would do well, exercise discreetly their own influence on certain American cardinals. So that's where
All right.
the idea of speculation begins, of these cardinals being uh at the very least influenced by members of the government, whether they be low level employees, or you happen to work at the federal agency and you're a Catholic. So when you talk to your father on your way out on Sunday, you know, see what's going on. What's going on the, like, what are the murmurings within the, I don't know. It's a
Right. So, yeah, I could see this happening. I don't know that it did.
and that's where I'm at with
Just
it. I'm
because
like,
I
it
said there's
just,
this one source here. He is a Catholic journalist, but why is he the one that knows this? I don't know.
yeah. And in the comments, there's a
There's additional documents, I believe.
yeah. There was one that was that settled in interesting. There's one particular snippet that I'll read. Oh no. Don't do.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, trying to do the mouse pad zoomy thing.
Yeah, I got it.
And
Okay.
it did the let's show you all your screens thing.
Okay, there we go. I don't know why I'm such a tech retard tonight.
That's okay. I'm not sure what's going on with that either. Can you read the quote?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. I'll pull it up real quick.
What quote? What are we looking at? You won't let me wear my reading glasses, so.
It's not that I won't let you. Yeah. I won't let him wear his reading glasses. I need you looking cute on the internet.
Sorry. I suppose it's ugly like I look now. Is that what you're saying?
No. Okay. At a reception on March 5th, 1959. What's his name? Okay. Dr. Vesser Tehooft then told the following story as an illustrative of the Pope's attitude towards his papacy. He said that he had been told that the Pope, in addressing a group of young children, had said, "When I came to the throne, everyone knew that I was old, and therefore said I would be a pope of transition. It is true, I am old, as you can see, but I am like," he gave the name of an earlier pope, that's in parentheses, "who turned things upside down. Well, I too am going to make some changes, and you will all see."
Yeah, you will see.
Yeah. And those young children, right, and like or the youth in 1959, who are those? Who are those people?
Yeah. Also, why? Let's go back to this real quick. Why is this in a State Department document? It says right there on the top, the U.S. Department of State.
Foreign Service Dispatch.
Yeah. Why?
Well,
that's honestly the bigger question: is why is what the Pope said to some children
in a
U.S. State Department document?
Well, this is March 1959. This is after
right.
October.
Well, that's what I'm assuming. They're like, hey, it's a document. Like, hey, our guy's doing what he's supposed to do.
Ooh.
Is that
maybe?
why? Is that? This is right after he was elected under the outside
right.
the
outside the college.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know how much of it's fact, what was going on. We
weren't there.
Digging into it a little. There's not much information.
No,
there's not a lot to sink your teeth into on this one. Like this document and the other one we showed you is like really all that exists. And then you can take some of the names out of these documents and go search them on Google. But
yeah,
I mean, you're gonna find what you're gonna find. All the cardinals and bishops of that time that got us to where we are today were all left leaning, crooked. So you can look at what they implemented, what their track record was,
Right.
and you can determine from there if. But you think they were involved with the State Department, but who
There's
knows?
no
They could
way.
have just they
That
could
could have
work
just
for somebody
been,
else. Yeah.
or that could have just been their own personal, like, this is what I'm here to do. This is my agenda.
Yeah.
Not that you can be very successful, like, trying to run that independently, but,
So I guess the question, because we know the Catholic Church has been infiltrated by Freemasonry.
yeah.
That was kind of the whole plan of Freemasonry for hundreds of years, is to find a way in the Catholic Church and start ripping it apart from the inside. Clearly, they got their foot in the door. Vatican II shows us that.
Right.
So then I guess the question is, the State Department, are they doing the bidding of the Freemasons? Are they all part of that whole same group? Or is this like a warring faction? Is this, their State Department wants their own interests aside from what the Freemasons are trying to do there?
Well, that is a possibility. And I think that might be a little bit more on track than it's the, like, UNESCO crowd.
Yeah, no. This is
Because that's the one thing that, like,
this is definitely Freemasonic, whatever, especially at this time period with the Catholic Church.
yeah.
This was definitely. I mean, this is the Freemasons finally getting what they put into place in the 1700s.
Yeah, these are their fruits come
Yeah,
first to grow, because those types of organizations, they don't have to rely on generation, like how us as individuals have to rely on generational wealth and retention. um Organizations like the Masons, they don't have to rely on that. They just have to rely on the organization making it generation to generation, because that's the agenda being pushed. And if, 3 generations of this family stick with it, and then they bring in 2 or 3 more families, it doesn't matter if they fall out of it, the whole thing continues on. So that's how they're successful from 1700 to finally
Well,
getting it in 1958.
was it the first letter intercepted by the Catholic Church in, was it Italy? I think it was in Italy. And it was basically a Freemasonic plot against the Catholic Church, and they intercepted a letter, and this was in 1610, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, but so I mean, that's how far back I can prove to you that Freemasonry goes, and how it was stated in this letter, and what the objective goal was stated on infiltrating and taking down the Catholic Church. Um, but many believe it goes back further than that,
Yeah.
1400s.
Well, yeah, the organization itself does go back that far.
So yeah, but you can't prove it. We can all say it does.
But yeah, there's no way to,
But
well,
you
and
can't
that's
prove
it.
that there was an organized structure with goals, attainable goals that they were going for over long periods of time until this letter.
Yeah, okay, so that's where I hear what you're saying on that. So, like, 1610 is when this is the organization. So my understanding of Freemasons was the pre that, where, like, they were free Masons.
Yeah, they were
Like,
free to travel around.
they were the dudes who, like, built all the churches and, like, most of the main big city halls, and, like, those types of stuff. Like, that's what I understood Freemasons as. And so that happens in 1610, but then there's the other side of it, with the Anton LaVey side of
Right.
Freemasonry, where the Freemasons get gutted and inverted, and now the colloquial Freemason is Illuminati. So we really don't even know what any of them are.
Right.
It's
Now,
just this mysterious shroud of a group of people.
yeah, if you go back to like the 1200s, Freemasons literally were just men who worked masonry that were free to travel about and perform their craft. That was what it came down to. But the actual organizations of, like you say, Illuminati or world dominance, or steering
the
a
weekly
culture,
meeting Freemasons.
steering a culture in a direction towards the Enlightenment is really what it all comes down to.
Yes.
And it's very demonic and satanic, and
Yeah.
it's Luciferian.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
It's
the
very
Luciferian.
Luciferian. But yeah, that, like I said, that is believed to have been in existence from earlier than 1600s
Mhm.
in that form. But like
Yeah.
again, the letter that proves it was from the early 1600s. I believe it could have been the late 1500s. Look it up for yourselves, people.
You can look it up.
Yeah, I wish I even had a name for it. I used to have a Mm. There's a town and a name and a whole thing. And I'll have to double check that at some point. I Miss Christendom did a video about it. So, what are you looking up?
Oh, I was just gonna try to quickly
Oh yeah,
look and see if I could find anything.
yeah. I wouldn't try searching by a specific date, man.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's the exact date, but
Okay.
you get the point. It's sometime around then. Don't hold me to a date, man.
What do we know? We don't know anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm just regurgitating things I've read and watched and
right,
heard.
yeah. So going back to whether or not in 1958 there was infiltration, and the only way that we can actually know is to go back to the names that are in these documents. Look at those people. How did it turn out? And in doing that, to try to understand what was happening, I just looked up the 1958 papal conclave. There's a Wikipedia page for it. There's a couple other pages for it. And that'll give you understanding on the process itself. Like, how many days did it take? How many votes did it take? Who was actually on the ballot? Um, and there's some, you can gain some understanding from that, or at least be informed enough to know what questions to ask going forward. Um, and I think the main thing I wanted to do with bringing this to everybody's attention, and spending our time on it, is that it only came from one source. And there's too much, um, I think, like, a feeling, there's too much of a feeling of like vindication that this one source document
Right.
gives people. So for me, that tells me it's a too good to be true. It's a convenient timing. It's a, here's a breadcrumb. I know y'all are struggling, and that puts it on us to find out if it's actually valid, if it's something worth paying attention to, or if it's just more drivel to confuse us and keep us distracted.
Oh, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what you were doing.
I was waiting for you to finish.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have anything to say. I was waiting for you to finish.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm finished now.
Anyway, okay. So
That's how I know you were tuning me out. You weren't even like hearing what I was saying. You were just like, "Is this bitch done yet? Is she done talking yet?"
I heard every word you said.
I know you heard it, but did you hear it?
Did you listen? Did
Were
you
you
ponder
listening?
upon it?
Were you listening?
Oh man. So, hey, good evening, Leon, in the chat. Why is that not? Oh, it's not. Oh, there it is. Finally, it showed up.
Wait. It should have immediately popped up.
I don't know why it didn't.
It did not.
It didn't. It didn't want to play nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you guys can figure it out for yourself whether the State Department really is infiltrating the Catholic Church. I know there's been lots of talk about it. If you just look at like comments under this,
Oh, yeah, shout out Jay Dyer. He's got in the comments of this Twitter post.
He tweets out, they did the same with Paul VI, who was fully under CIA control. And yeah, I mean, if you look at his papacy, that's not shocking.
No.
Same with Francis right now.
Yeah. And Jay actually does have, like, I think it's 4 videos on American government and Catholics. Like, there's 4 different topics that he's covered on it. I haven't watched any of them. I know that the man puts out a bunch of content.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of his content now. Oh, off subject. Also, just looking at his account real quick. Anybody seen what's going on in England right now, over in the UK with the Muslims and that? I mean, there is full on warfare going on. I guess, like, looking at this video, there's Muslims marching through the streets with weapons, and cops are just letting them go by.
Have they? Is it basically just been going since the Bangladeshi incident?
I don't know. I know it's really popping off right now.
They're getting this.
Sorry if this is super loud. Allah Akbar, they're in England, man. I ain't heard a word of English yet. They're in England. I ain't heard a word of English yet.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, that's what happens whenever.
It's not going to fit on the screen, but yeah, I got to adjust that window so that fits better. Good comment.
Redbeard says, to think the U.S. and other world powers want to have influence in the Vatican is not a stretch at all. The Pope and Vatican obviously still have a massive amount of power. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And Scott earlier said the scripture of the Jesus ascending hell or whatever looks super Masonic or Scientologist.
Yeah, there's a lot of since 1958 specifically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questionable art at the Vatican and various Catholic areas.
Oh yeah. Well, art in general.
Well, your average diocese and parish churches don't really have a lot of this stuff. 'Cause I don't think your average Catholic would put up looking at it every day.
Mm-hmm.
But you find it in some of the larger basilicas and like the Vatican stuff. Like there's just some really questionable.
Oh, I think that's silly. We don't do that. You could do that in your office, in your personal office, but not in like the common areas where the laity have to see it. That's not. I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
I think like the certain art depictions, if they're that weird modern art,
yeah,
or
some are just blasphemous looking, like that one of Mary giving birth.
Never seen it. Don't want to see it. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
But no, what I'm saying is like if that's something, if the person who wanted it in the church put it in your office, right? Like put it in there. If you want to look at it, I suppose, but you shouldn't make everybody else have to look at it.
Well,
give me stained glass and freaking mosaics.
Blasphemous
want
pictures
nothing
don't
else.
belong in the church. I don't care if it's in your office or not.
Oh, okay. So you're saying none at all. I guess, yeah. That's how you got to handle this.
Yeah.
We've gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we don't need to show the people that anyway.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just see if I can find it. It was a. Ew, what the hell is that?
Why are they watching you, Leon? What'd you do?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna waste too much time looking for it. It's a. Sure, people have seen it. So, let's go home. Let's see if there's anything.
I was just making a face thinking of what it might
here's
look
more.
like if we can find it.
Here we go. Here's more cultural enrichers.
This is
in England.
I'm glad that
yeah, they're just rioting the street. How did this turn into a timeline cleanse episode?
I was about to say, like, I'm not. This isn't what we're here for.
Sorry,
we're not here for that.
Yeah, my bad.
This is supposed to be wholesome content.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how I got sidetracked into what's going on in England. Oh man, look what's going on in England.
It's that Top Lobster shirt you're wearing.
Oh yeah. Hey, shout out everybody. Nephilim Death Squad gear. Get my Nephilim and chill. Go to toplobstershop.com. Did I get that? Did I get that right? Did I read that ad read right?
I think you did.
Okay. Sweet.
I think it's shoptoplobster.com.
No, it's toplobstershop.com.
Okay.
Look it up. I know I'm right.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Nope, you're wrong. Shop toplobster.com. toplobsta.com.
Oh yeah, it's toplobster.com is all it is, not Top Lobster. Yes, sorry, I can't even get the ad read right. My bad.
That's okay.
Ugh. All right, well now we know that I'm useless.
That's okay. You can't program ad reads and branding in there with everything else you got in there. You're gonna miss a couple. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where my dumb lady brain comes in handy.
Um,
Branding.
yeah, I'm just scrolling Catholic Twitter, see if there's anything interesting, semi-related here.
Can we play that bookmarked one that we have for where they were talking about Father Ripperger and the change of the mass?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
I
one.
think that's a good
That
one.
actually did. That definitely falls in line
It
with
does,
what we're
yeah,
looking at
especially
here.
since our Wednesday episode and also what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay. Um.
The alignment.
Anyway, yeah, we'll play this video real quick and discuss.
Because think about it.
Oh.
It's like, okay, from baptism, you have, let's remove so many references to demons. Let's remove all of the exorcisms. Let's remove the consecration of the tongue for the infant. Confirmation, let's fiddle around with the oils. Oils can now be different kinds, which is doubtful matter. Let's move on to confession, where moral theology has completely been gutted. Let's change the ends of marriage, so pleasure is now above reproduction. Let's change the entire mass to have Talmudic prayers into it and to be placating to Protestants. Let's, mess around with holy orders and allow potentially married priests one day, but a married diaconate. Let's gut all of the minor orders as best we can, especially the exorcism. And let's fiddle around with extreme unction and just give it out to kind of anybody, no matter what they're going through. Or we can fiddle around with the oil for that as well. So they mess around with all of these things. And as Father Ripperker rightly says, you don't think the devil's behind that? Travesty, because think about it.
Yeah, I mean, that right there is the consequences of 1958.
Yeah.
After that 1958 conclave in 1962 came Vatican II. And after Vatican II came the Novus Ordo, all these new, that skipping the exorcism during baptism. I don't think a lot of people even know that used to be a standard procedure.
Probably not.
Yeah, they would perform an exorcism and then baptism.
Well, and so
Generational curses, generational spirits. We just talked about this on Saturday or on Wednesday. I mean, I'm sorry.
yeah, on Wednesday. So
Um,
and in that conversation, we didn't mention it, but my understanding of it after doing the research for that episode, the the sheer uptick of just issues. We'll just say issues.
issues.
We could say it's from the microplastics. We could say it's from the jibby jabs. We could say it's from the processed food. We could say it's from the fake clouds. We could say it's from anything that we've done. But we're absolutely ignorant if we completely dismiss the fact that none of these children who were baptized Catholic received the exorcism that they should have received. So at the very least, we have Catholic baptized people running around with generational demons attached to them that their parents and grandparents did not have.
Yeah,
That they did not have
because we skipped the exorcism.
because they received the exorcism prior to their baptism. So anything that was attached, it was gone. So that would explain why it was good, it was decent, and then it's been not good. Again, what do I know? I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. It's just an observation.
You're supposed to go to your church and ask for that exorcism now.
Well, yeah, that is definitely a thing that I learned this over the last like 10 days researching this stuff. Is I am going to ask for one when I start the RCIA and we're having the conversations. I'm gonna raise my hand and be like, "Can I get one of them exorcisms though?" Not that I have like active demons or nothing. I'm just no dummy.
Right, yeah.
I would like
there's
one.
something holding on, and I want it gone.
I would like one. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Leon has a question for you.
Oh, Leon has a question. Did I hear correctly? Your dad was Mormon. Yes, Leon. My father was raised Mormon. His parents were Mormon. And when my Catholic mother decided to marry a Mormon man, she was no longer Catholic and she was Mormon. I was not baptized Mormon. My parents got a divorce when I was 7 years old. So up until like 7, I was Mormonish, but after that, not so much.
So Mormons don't baptize infants.
No, they do not.
Okay.
But Mormons baptize dead people. So.
So do they wait till after you die to baptize you, or does it sometimes just work out that way?
It sometimes works out that way. So like, if you're a new Mormon, like if you're like the first Mormon of your people, then they would have to posthumously baptize some of your people so you could actually be a Mormon, because you have to have qualifiers. It's a listen.
So how do they baptize somebody who's in the ground? They just pour water on the grave?
Oh no, it's like a
It's like a fake baptism?
I
They pour water over a picture?
listen. I don't want to speak on nothing I don't understand fully. I just know that they posthumously baptize people. That's all I know.
Okay.
The internet can tell you the rest of it.
Okay. I don't know, man.
I don't know, but those same people are gonna throw shade at me and tell me not to pray to a saint. So what do I know?
Right, yeah. Relics have no power, don't pray saints.
What do I know?
Yeah.
I don't know nothing.
I know. Ugh.
So
Blasphemy.
But yeah, Leon, that was a thing. So I don't know. But so the way that my father ended up being Mormon was his mother, who immigrated when she was like 4 or 5 years old from Switzerland. Her family was Catholic. And so she grew up Catholic. But then when she met my grandfather, he was Mormon. So she converted to Mormonism to be Mormon with the man that she loves. So all I'm doing is, no shade to my grandmamas and my mama, but I'm just undoing some dumb bitchery. You can't do that. Sorry. So.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Ginster's here. Yeah, Jin, you're right. Once you're dead, it's a bit late.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's my younger brother and my younger sister. They were baptized Mormon. Neither one of them practice now, so I don't know how that works for them. But my cousins, I was the 39th grandchild when I was born, and all my cousins that are older than me, they are all wonderful people, y'all. They've got, ain't not one of them got less than 6 kids. They have a husband that is a wonderful provider. They are wonderful mothers. They're self-sustaining, decent human beings who never ask anybody for anything.
But they're Mormon?
And that's like the only fault I have on them is y'all just listening to this goofy guy with a freaking top hat and a piece of garnet. Come on.
I guess I just never asked too many questions. And it sounds weird coming from your husband.
Yeah.
But you being the oldest, how did your siblings get baptized Mormon and you did not?
Oh, because I said no, thank you.
Oh, you were given a choice, and your parents were just like, "Okay, you don't have to."
Well, I didn't want to go to Mormon church. Like, I didn't want to be around the Mormon kids.
But but Hannah and Daniel liked being Mormon.
They wanted to be around the kids the same way that our kid goes to youth group.
Yeah,
that's what it was for them.
Yeah, the same way
they went to youth group, and it was their family thing, and so like they had a little bit more of a connection. I can't speak on it. I have no idea. I have no idea how that happened.
I also do know that our kid likes to go to the youth group at the Baptist church, but she ain't get baptized Baptist.
No, she didn't. And that's the thing, is like, it's never been a, oh my gosh, I want to do that. No.
Yeah.
I think it would have to do more with my mom's influence.
So your mom pushed them and they did it, but she couldn't get you to do it?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
As a child, you knew.
I don't remember a lot of
baptized in this pagan religion. Fuck that.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I think it's because I was the oldest, so I understood how humans human more than those two did.
Okay.
So when I read the Doctrine and Covenants and like tried to understand it and tried to be the good Mormon kid that I was supposed to be, I'm just like, you mean to tell me that God shows up to this little dipshit here in the woods of nowhere, and some angel comes to him and says, here's a top hat, some golden plates, and a rock. You're the one, son.
I mean, when you put it like that.
No. Right? Like, you can't come to me, the kid who watched 9/11 happen, the kid who experienced hanging Chads and pregnant Chads in Florida, and we're at level orange today. You can't come to me and tell me Joseph Smith. That's the truth. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
It was something that just didn't
click.
It didn't align. I was like, no, that ain't It don't make no sense. It just didn't click with me. It didn't settle in.
Okay.
It didn't speak to my spirit.
Yeah, and the special underwear. Ginster says, don't forget
And
the
their
special underwear.
order. Okay, so JC asks a funny question. Any of them polygamous? No. And that's hilarious that you bring that up, because if I was to have to pick which kind of Mormonism I would want, I'd want that OG Mormonism.
Right?
That OG.
So-
Life is hard. Life is hard. We're a community. Oh, Tommy here took a bullet by them Indians. Now Miss Emily doesn't need to be a widow. Oh, I don't know. JC asked about the polygamy. JC, you have a farm and a wife and a couple of kids. You mind taking in Miss Emily so she don't die because her husband took a bullet from the Indians? You think that'd be okay? And then look out. I'm here just to take care of the chickens. It wasn't even like a real wife situation. It wasn't even like that. It was just men die and they have women and children. And if we're trying to be a people of God and a people who are trying to do something, we can't just leave the women and children out here to die.
Right. Well, that
So-
eventually morphed into.
And that's because little Joseph Smith's little testosterone riddled, gotta procreate, I'm an egomaniac, said, I'm gonna start sleeping with these hoes. He went completely off the reservation, and Brigham Young was like, now, son, we can't do that. And Brigham Young ended up turning it back around and taking everybody to Salt Lake because Joseph Smith ends up getting
Lynched in Illinois.
yeah, lynched in Nauvoo.
In
Yeah.
Illinois, where we live.
I actually want to go there.
Yeah, we should, actually. I hope they have
Yeah.
a memorial to it.
They do,
Sweet.
right outside the jailhouse.
This is where we lynched the heretic.
I don't know if that's what it says, but there is a memorial.
I hope it says that. I'm going to
But
put up a
that's
sign if it doesn't.
And I think that that's ultimate. Like when you do like look at it, when you go back and you look at it in a historical context, like how did this start? How did it play out? What happened? You're just kind of like, oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Maybe that was just goofy and should have stayed there. And then the other, not only do they have the their special underwear, they also call themselves American Jews. Like they are the action. I don't want to put words in their mouths, but the belief is that like the Jews in Israel, those aren't like the real Jewish people because that's not the real Israel. Which they're not wrong on that. That's not biblical Israel. That's man-made Israel. But that doesn't mean that you people here in America are the real Jews. So,
But they could be.
But that's the thing is they could be. They could be. Who
Yeah.
knows? What do I know?
So, like, first of all, it's good evening to the Another Night, who comes in with the traditional Latin. And I'm going to repeat today, File Spiritu Santi.
Okay.
Because you were talking about the traditional Mormonism.
Okay. Yeah.
And I agree with you there because, we enjoy the traditional Latin Mass as
Right.
Catholics. Like, yeah, you definitely want to go back to the tradition of your people if
Well, and that's
you are serious about it.
and anytime I've ever tried to like get somebody to go on the religious journey, my first thing I tell them is, what do your people believe? What do your people, the people you come from, what do they believe? Look at that. And if that doesn't sit with you, go from there. Because that's what I did with myself. Like my people come from Mormonism or Catholics. And when I was younger, I was like, okay, well, those are my options. Well, what else is out here? And I ended up getting baptized Southern Baptist and doing the Baptist thing for a minute. And then I went and just was like, I'm good now. Once saved, always saved.
Right, yeah.
I can live my life. And as long as I, acknowledge when I mess up real bad and say, I'm sorry, Father, my bad, it'll be fine, right? Wrong. But yeah, it's my people were Mormon, and before that they were Catholic, and I'm just doing what they should have never stopped doing.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, it's getting close to that time anyway. It's been a long week and a long weekend, and we have covered our topic pretty thoroughly. So is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I covered it all. I don't think I left anything unsaid on this episode.
Okay. Sweet. So-
Yes, Jenny, that's where that joke comes from. Is the Baptists? They definitely think once saved, always saved. You can,
Oh, that's Protestants in general.
yeah, you
In
can,
general, there may be some, but yeah, that's like the evangelicals at least. The non-denominational, um, evangelical Christian believes that once you say that sinner's prayer, that's it. You're
yeah,
saved.
you're good. You're good.
No
to
matter
go.
what you do the rest of your life, you're good to go.
It definitely does matter. It definitely does matter. It's a day by day basis.
Yeah.
It's-
Yes, another night. I agree. I do like Latin. There is also something to be said about preaching in the local vernacular. That's why we go to both the Novus Ordo and like traditional Latin mass.
oh yeah, both is good. Both
Yeah,
is best. You should have
definitely.
we should all have the opportunity to experience both.
Yes, absolutely. You should be free to do both, and you should absolutely do both. I don't think one is enough, to be honest with you. I think you should get it both ways, and that's what's best for the soul.
Yeah.
But so anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys on Wednesday for another normal Wednesday show. Is episode 16 coming up?
It is.
Episode 16 episodes already.
And I'm going to do a morning crew show in the morning. We're going to watch Tommy Robinson's documentary he put out.
So this tomorrow morning, you're saying?
Tomorrow morning, 6:30 in the morning.
6:30 our local time here?
6:30 Central. I will be here. I wanted to try to do it a time that y'all would like, but that's half my day's over by then. I'm dramatic. I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I want to get stuff done early and have it done and over with so I can go outside and play with my garden. So 6:30 tomorrow morning, we're gonna do a watch along of the Tommy Robinson documentary.
Okay, so Emily will be here for you guys tomorrow morning, and then I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate the viewers so much, and we will see you Wednesday.
Wednesday, we'll be here. Thanks, guys. God bless.